3 minutes to the gentleman from Texas, Mr. Hensarling.
The gentleman is recognized for 3 minutes.
I thank the gentleman for yielding. Mr. Speaker, the American people are asking this Congress and this President, what part of broke don't you understand? Already we have seen on June 30th the third largest one-day increase in the national debt in our history. $166 billion, larger than the entire annual deficit of 2007. Already this year, the deficit has crossed the trillion-dollar mark for only the second time in American history. Of course, the first time, as we know, was last year. We are looking at the largest national debt in our nation's history. As a percentage of our economy, it rivals that of World War II, and it's only due to get worse. And yet, since the Democratic majority has come in, President Obama has been elected, this body has gone on a spending spree. Today, borrowing 41 cents on the dollar, mainly from the Chinese, to send the bill to our children and our grandchildren. At one time, the House Majority Leader now, Mr. Hoyer of Maryland, said to run deficits was akin to fiscal child abuse. And now all we seemingly hear from the other side is the refrain, que sera, sera. And so today we have an appropriations bill, one, Mr. Speaker, that's coming to this floor without a budget. First time in the history of the House hasn't even attempted to pass a budget. Well, Mr. Speaker, I guess the only reason you want a budget is it because you want a limit on spending. If you don't want to limit your spending, you don't need a budget. So we have no budget. We're going directly to the appropriations bill, and in this case, the TFUD bill is 38% larger than it was in fiscal 2008, the year before the Democrats went on their spending spree. You know, Mr. Speaker, again, how much of the spending meets the test of borrowing 41 cents on the dollar, mainly from the Chinese, sending the bill to our children and our grandchildren? I have the pleasure of serving on the President's Fiscal Responsibility Commission. It's chaired by a gentleman from North Carolina, Erskine Bowles, former Chief of Staff to President Clinton. He likens the national debt, quote, "This debt is like a cancer. It's truly going to destroy the country from within." And yet, Mr. Speaker, our Democratic majority brings to the floor a bill spending 38% more than just a few years ago. Recently, it was reported in The Hill that our chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff said the nation's debt is the biggest threat to U.S. national security. And yet, the Democratic majority brings a bill to this floor spending 38% more on TFUD than just 3 years ago. Would the gentleman yield an additional minute?
I yield the gentleman an additional 1 minute.
The gentleman is recognized.
The director of the Congressional Budget Office, Doug Elmendorf, Democratic appointee, has said, quote, "U.S. fiscal policy is unsustainable. Unsustainable to an extent that it can't be solved through minor changes." Yet, the Democratic majority brings a bill spending 38% more since when they came into office. Economist Robert Samuelson has said that this spending could, quote, "trigger an economic and political death spiral." Yet, the Democratic majority brings a bill spending 38% more from when they took over. You know, Mr. Speaker, Americans have seen what is going on in Greece. They've seen the riots in the street. Greece is having to sell sovereign territory. Their debt in relation to their economy is about 112%. Ours is at 90%. We are truly at a tipping point, which is why the American people are saying, what part of broke don't you understand? No nation can borrow, spend, or bail out its way to economic prosperity. This bill needs to be rejected.
Gentleman reserved.